and Ansel Adams. This is copyright 1949, 4th edition. It features a number of photos. Of Yosemite. Various features of the park. Let's see. Calico Ghost Town, Southern California's greatest silver camp. This is copyright in 1952, Knott's Berry Farm. And it covers some of the history of Calico. Petrified Forest National Monument in Arizona. This is from the United States Department of the Interior, and I'm assuming it is from no later than 1940. This includes a June 3rd, 1951 pass to the Petrified Forest National Monument. It's a permit to operate a motor vehicle. It includes the state license number. It calls out the fee as 50 cents. And again, it goes into some details about the National Monument. There's a number of really nice photos, maps of the area. And this was printed in 1950. Next up, this is a special study set of fine art reproductions based on the San Diego State College Ancient Art collection. 234 prints prepared by a company called the University Prints. And flip through here. See that there's reproductions of a number of pieces of art from that collection. It's an interesting Sumerian harp with bull's head. Poseidon. Parthenon. Statue of Aphrodite. Visit of Dionysus to a dramatic poet. This is from the National Museum in Naples. This one, as far as I can tell, does not have a publication date on it. Next up we have Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks, which is published by the Union Pacific Railroad. Again, photos of the park, descriptions of the area. Some of the history. Really interesting historic look at the park. And of course, towards the end, information about the Union Pacific Railroad and some of their services and routes, including this regional map, and then on the back, a nationwide map with their slogan for dependable transportation, "Be specific, say Union Pacific." Next up, this is a Miracle in Hotel Building, the dramatic story of the building of the new Canyon Hotel in Yellowstone Park, published by the Yellowstone Park Company. I did not see a publication year in here. There's some really interesting information about the park and the construction of the hotel. And as an insert in here, I imagine these were handouts or pamphlets available at the park around the time of the publication of the booklet. Songs about Old Faithful in Yellowstone. This was published in 1939. Here's another copy of the same thing, and the third copy of the same thing. So these very much look like handouts that would have just been available to anyone going to the visitor station in the park at the time. Some really nice photographs of the inside of the hotel. This is You Can Paint Landscapes in Oil Colors, Book 1 by McGee. And if we look, see here, this is copyright in 1953. And this appears to be sort of a, maybe not quite a textbook, but a sort of instructional guide for painting landscapes with oil colors. Goes into materials and equipment, and a number of other topics on the subject. Just a few more of these, just to give everybody an idea of the condition of the pages. Streetline Dressmaking by Renee and Julian Robinson. This one is copyright 1960, first published 1967. Copyright 1967 also. This might be a first edition. I don't see a second printing or second edition date. And again, this is more of an instructional guide to dressmaking, covering various types of stitches, different patterns, and portions of patterns that can be utilized to create a dress. Handbook of United States Coins, 1976. This was their bicentennial edition. And this is literally a guide to condition of coins. There's some information up front how to grade your coins, and then it gets into the value of various years and specific coin types. for United States coins. Whew. I'm sure this was a little less creepy at the time it was published. This is Bomba the Jungle Boy among the slaves. And let's see, when was this published? This is 1929. Explains, some of the discoloration and aging of the pages, as well as the general subject line and title. And as you can see, the pages are in generally good condition throughout for a book that is 92 years old. And the fact that it retains the, I guess this isn't a dust jacket so much as part of the original hardcover. But again, considering the age, it's in great condition. This is Nevada Post Offices, an illustrated history. This was published in 1983. And again, it goes into history of post offices in Nevada. As you can see, there's images of historic mail. And it covers some of these specific post offices, the county they were in when they were established and discontinued, and the rarity of mail bearing the postmark from those specific post offices. And that continues throughout the book. With more images throughout, illustrating various postmarks from various offices. This is the 1969 Coin Prices Guide. Again, I believe this is primarily U.S. coins, and it's just a guide to their value as of 1967. Next up, we have the Girl Scout Pocket Handbook. I'm sorry, Pocket Songbook. Oh, this is copyright 1956, which I'm sure means that nothing in here is problematic at all. Careful research and investigation has been done to trace these songs to their original sources, so that blame can be properly attributed. And this is literally lyrics and music for a number of songs sung by the Girl Scouts. I'm not going to look too closely at any of the lyrics right now. And then there's an index in the back. And this was originally available for 25 cents. Next up we have the Philatelic Dictionary by W.H. Poole and Willard O. Wiley. Let's see. This one does not have a publication date, but references the Great World War, putting it between the beginning of World War I and the beginning of World War II. And I suspect, realistically, between the end of World War I and the beginning of World War II. And it is literally a dictionary going into definitions of a number of terms, notes on specific locations. It has images of some of the stamps from those locations. And that continues throughout. And so again, for a book that is up to about 100 years old, surprisingly good condition of the pages and the cover. And this goes all the way through, and if any of my friends are watching, there's a Wiley, Texas 1915 postmark. Kind of interesting that it happened to open to that page. And again, it continues throughout with definitions alphabetically, with some advertisements towards the rear. Next up, tied to Masonic apron strings, humorous events connected with Masonry. This was published in 1974. And appears to have just a number of humorous stories related to Freemasonry. And there are, throughout the book, notes from the original owner that they've paper clipped in here on index cards. And the previous owner was a past master of the local Mason order, based on some of the other items that we picked up. Next up, we have the American Stampless Cover Catalog, and this is just a guide to various stamps and their values as of some point in time. It looks like this was originally $5. And let's see if we can find a year in here. I see 1933 as one of the sources, but I don't see an actual publication date. And this is going to go through state by state. It's got examples of postmarks, and again, just indicates the value of stamps and postmarks from various areas. And finally, Walther's The World of Large-Scale Trains, 1989 and 1990 edition. And when they say large scale, that doesn't look like HO scale. Let's see. I'm sure there's an indication somewhere in here of, let's see, what exactly is large scale? This is 1/32nd scale or larger. HO scale is 1/87th, I believe. So let's see. Yeah, I see a reference to G scale, which would be one of the larger scales. But this appears to just be a catalog. I'm guessing this is a catalog of both the current value of some of these, as well as your then current models available for sale. But some of those prices are, I won't say shocking, because I know how trained people can be. you know, how anybody can be with a particular interest, but certainly more than I would have expected. And that's it for books.